Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars TVC Star Wars The Acolyte series, The Stranger, Qmir. And there is the front. Yeah, it kind of feels matte. Interesting pose for the Stranger. I think this is the scene where he was killing all those Jedis. Those incompetent Jedis that can be killed by one man. How many Jedis were there in that fight? More than 8. Killed by one man. Oh my god. Those incompetent Jedi Masters. Or Jedi Knights. Yep. That, I guess... That, I mean, I didn't really mind... watching the series, but let me go ahead and open it up and we'll talk some more. All right, so there it is. Yeah. So as I was saying, I don't really mind the series because unlike a lot of the Star Wars fans out there that might have been coming from having read book series, comic book series, and being translated into shows or movies, I don't have any of those. So for me, the plot and the story that they were depicting, the characters they were depicting, the Acolyte, was pretty much brand new for me. So I was more open to what they're trying to say. I don't really mind that, but sometimes it does like one person is so skilled really that can kill all those Jedis, and you're telling me those Jedis aren't proficient in combat when it comes to Sith, that they didn't know anything about that. You know, when he would use the Force to blow sand into their face. If you can do that, then why can't you use the Force to prevent sand from getting to your face? You know, basically create a force to either blow them away or something, you know? But yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, as I was talking about that, I went straight to the money shot, which is the face. Look at that mask, though. I normally go to the accessories, but this is, look at how small this is compared to my fingernail. That's amazing. All right, and before I talk them down, let's look at the accessories really quick. Yeah, so there's his, I guess, lightsaber, dark saber. And then, so this is technically the broken up part of this, right? But unfortunately, you can't plug this in, which is, I believe he does, without this showing up. Interesting. What could have been the best iteration of this one design? Because obviously that's not the full hilt or the full grip. This one would be without this. But I like getting this though, because that's going to be on display. And honestly, this is quite jam-packed in terms of accessories for a TVC. Let me just make sure of something. Okay, I just had to verify that this is a $20 figure. So I knew I wanted to get them because I like I said, I didn't really mind the blacks, the storyline, but I just reviewed the Maul from the Shadow Lord Maul, which is $20. But not only was it $20, it's also a reissue of an older figure, which means it doesn't have the full updated articulation. It was close, but it's not. I'm trying to see what that tattoo looks like, and it's not really a tattoo, more like a dirt smudge painted on, which is kind of interesting. But for a $20 figure, and this is, I guess I would call this a tier 2 figure, because it's from a TV series, and even though he is a main character, maybe tier 2 or maybe tier 3, I can't decide, but he is a main baddie. But I believe he is a class 1 action figure because he has full articulation. Let's see Can I remove this so we can just look and see what's going on with this figure? Now, even with that, that actually looks pretty cool too without the robe. Articulation forward, of course, because of the hair, nothing. Forward a little bit, off to the side. Shoulders good. Full rotation. Look at that. Look at the bend on the elbow. It's pretty good for something so small. Up and down on the wrist over here with, of course, a twist. This one's also an up and down. It has a joint on the waist, but it's really tight. It doesn't move like that. A little bit forward, a little bit back. And you have this for, let's see how this one would bend like this. That for his lightsaber, hips to the side. As you can see, the ball joint goes horizontal, so it's the more articulated, more advanced version. It doesn't have a thigh cut, which I'm not really, I hope that's only for this figure, but I don't really mind it doesn't have a thigh cut. But because of this, look at how bulky that leg is, but that's the design, right? But yeah, still get the 90. Look at that big disc hinge. Look, surprisingly, it's got weathering on the bottom of the robe and the shoes. Okay. That's actually very, very surprising. I mean, it's just black robes anyway. But, I mean, there's really no reason for them to do so. So that was a good thing that they added in there. And some more coloring over there. So yeah, this figure is quite a surprise for me. Not only does it have quite a bit of accessories, right? It's got the unlit lightsaber, it's got a helmet, and it's got the two over here. Like, this is almost a perfect figure. The only accessories this is missing is to have the ability to have this split. Wait, no, not this one. Not to have that split, but to have the lightsaber version where this is in one piece and this part is not lit. That's the only accessory that's missing from this one. And this particular figure, I will say this as well. Was this the front? Or is that the back? Oops. Anyway. So this particular figure, I will say this as well. They did such a good job on this face that, I mean, I like this helmet too. And interestingly enough, I'm not, did I get the Black Series version of this one? Oh yes, I did, because I turned him into a custom where he was a Jedi Padawan, or I don't know if he became a Jedi Knight or something. But I even though I wasn't really keen on the helmet on the Black Series, even on the actual show itself, this actually is quite interesting, the smaller version, because kind of reminds me of an alien head. Now this face is so good that I really kind of want to display him with it. Look at that. And hey, I think he's the first Filipino in Star Wars, or Filipino descent. I don't really know. Oh yeah, so maybe a thigh cut would have been cooler, because, but it's okay, you can just twist it here anyway. So yeah, this figure actually is quite a surprise. I'll give him an easy 14. Well, 14. That's quite high. So it's not an easy 14, almost like a begrudging 14. I know he's 12 for sure. But the amount of accessories, the surprise of the accessories, the surprise of the extra paint at the bottom of the the robe and the shoes and this good. I'm not even gonna say that this head sculpt and paint application deserves an extra point, because that's what we're kind of expecting at TVC now, that kind of quality. But all this accessory is quite a surprise. So I'll give it an easy 13, a possible begrudging 14 value, with a base price of 10 equaling $20. Yeah, because I'm like, I wasn't even gonna get this, but you know, with Star Wars Vintage is my kind of right now my current mainline collection. So yeah, pretty good figure. Quite surprised at what came with it. And that's it for my review of the Star Wars from the Acolyte series, The Stranger or Qmir. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next review. Bye.